On the outside, yes, these videos look like just travel videos exploring new places, but underneath that is something so deeply, beautifully human. And today I'm gonna dive into how they deliver that feeling and how they can do that every single time in a video where they go to a very dangerous island. Let's get into it.
We're on Europe's most dangerous island.
Là, c'est le KSA. Ils utilisent les armes blanches.
But we probably shouldn't even be here.
If you're driving and you see like obstacle on the road, don't stop. Just go.
Mayotte, an island that in the most unlikely of ways still belongs to France, located off the coast of Madagascar, 8,000 kilometers from its mainland, yet fully considered part of the country and of the EU. Their currency is the euro, and its inhabitants are French citizens. But somehow, despite it being one of EU's most southern borders, it seems to have gotten completely forgotten. So, after our story surprising our delivery driver Vakar with a trip to Kenya,
What an intro. Okay, a lot happening right here. So we begin with we kind of repeat like the video title, which is 50 hours in the most dangerous island. 50 hours on Europe's most dangerous island. So he talks about this being a dangerous place. We get what word am I looking for? We back that claim by some of the locals telling us to be careful with whenever we're out there. And then we have some background about geopolitics and how this is owned by France, but it's down near Madagascar. A lot happens right here.
we're on Europe's most dangerous island.
So that's repeating the video title, confirming the clip. We have details from locals that back up the claim about they throw rocks, they use knives.
Les armes blanches.
But we probably shouldn't even be here.
Now that adds conflict. So when you have a story, what you want to do is get your setting or your problem and then have a character that really doesn't match the setting. For example, let's say your problem is there's a galactic empire who needs to go away because they're being mean to everyone in the galaxy. Who are you gonna get to throw out that galactic empire? A farmer boy, of course. I mean, who else would you get, right? So you see, like, the problem and the solution or the character, they kind of don't match, but that provides a lot of conflict. That provides good story. So that's what they're doing here is they're saying, okay, we're here, but we shouldn't be here. That adds a lot of depth, a lot of flavor.
If you're driving and you see like obstacle on the road, don't stop. Just go.
So another bit of information from a local to back up their claim about this being a dangerous island.
An island that in the most unlikely of ways still belongs to France, located off the coast of Madagascar, 8,000 kilometers from its mainland.
This map really helps the viewer understand the context of everything, because without this map I would be very lost, but with this map I understand where everything is. And it also adds tension, like France is way up there and this island is way down here. What's going on here? Like, what's happening? I want to know more.
Yet fully considered part of the country and of the EU. Their currency is the euro, and its inhabitants are French citizens. But somehow, despite it being one of EU's most southern borders, it seems to have gotten completely forgotten.
So that's another thing they do in here is contrast. So they're like, despite this being owned or run by France, which as we know is a developed country, they had the Olympics a few years ago. They're like, we imagine them to be civilized and safe and domestic. But then we see this island and there's a discrepancy there, right? That's a word, right? So we're wondering what's happening, what's going on.
So, after our story surprising our delivery driver Vakar with a trip to Kenya, we found this island just 2.5 hours away that frankly none of us knew anything about. While doing some research, we could only find two totally contradicting aspects about this place. First, it seems to be an absolutely stunning tropical paradise, but it also, however, seems to have very high crime rates, and thus almost no visitors whatsoever, which only left us with more questions. How is this island actually a part of France, and does it even feel like the same country? But most importantly, are things really as bad as the news make them out to be? With a place this unknown, we know that the only way to find out what is really going on is to go there. So we booked a 2-day trip to this mysterious island, not really knowing what we were getting ourselves into.
They're setting up some more context about the island, how they found it, why they're going, and they're also setting up some questions in our mind, not explicitly, but subconsciously. They're talking about the crime and the danger and the general unsafeness of the island. One of the questions on my mind is, are they gonna make it? I assume they are, but I also assume that they're not gonna make it without getting a few bruises, maybe. We'll see.
May the journey
I
begin.
don't think I've ever known so little about a place that I'm going to in my entire life.
Yeah, we've been on the road for over 2 months, and yeah, back to France now.
Like in the middle of Madagascar and continental Africa, there's like France.
I'm glad they have the names on the screen because I don't watch these guys enough to know their name like in my mind. That's really helpful.
Makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense. It seems not to be the safest place. And I've said a couple of French friends about it, and they said, I've only seen documentaries about how it's quite dangerous there. You never know before you go to a place, right? I mean, I've been to Afghanistan and Pakistan, and people thought I was gonna not come back, right? So I think it's probably fairly okay, but I think we just have to be a little cautious because we don't really know.
For sure.
In the words of Casey Neistat, story is king. Everything else serves the story. Every clip, every shot. So what were those shots of dialogue? How did they serve the story? Well, they're just continuing to do what we've been doing all along so far, is building the suspense, building the conflict, building the problems, and we're building up towards getting there, and they're really like making us curious about what's gonna happen when we get there. Really effective.
Hello, salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Première fois en Mayotte.
Ah, c'est la première fois.
Première fois, ouais.
Ah oui, vous allez travailler ou vous allez...
Là, on va faire un voyage, on a envie de rencontrer et d'apprendre la culture de Mayotte.
D'accord. Ah, ça va être joli.
Wow, everyone here seems so freaking friendly.
What did you say?
She asked if we're gonna stay on the big island or the small island. I don't know what that means. I said big one, but I have no idea actually. We should have probably looked into this more.
Imagine how much more boring this video would be if they knew everything about this island. One of the best tools to make a video interesting is if you're learning everything along with the viewer. Really, really great to make it feel more like you're on a trip with a friend instead of you're sitting in like a history class or you're watching a documentary. Not that documentaries are bad. I'm just saying this makes it feel like we're in the journey with them.
There's no turning back now. Let's see how this goes.
This gives our mind a bit of a deep breath. We've had right about 3 minutes of them building this up, explaining this to us, giving us context and background information. Now we have a bit of music, we have some image of the map of the flight. It's giving our brain a couple of seconds to just process and think.
It's like paradise.
This is not what I thought it was gonna look like. Oh my god, it's so beautiful.
Welcome to France.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We go from Asante Sana to Merci.
These are beautiful drone shots. I love how those drone shots are just silent. I think it could have worked if there was voiceover, but the fact that it was silent, they're giving us our own time to take it in for ourselves. They're respecting us in that we can take it in and make some observations, maybe jump to a few conclusions that they're gonna break for us. We can like look at it and think about it and also realize that it looks really pretty. Like from those drone shots, it doesn't look very dangerous. So
No idea where we are, and there's barely anyone here at this airport. Okay.
It was around this moment that we began to realize how very little we knew about this place due to our limited planning.
Literally none of the rental car websites worked. I could not find a rental car place. I think we're on a small island too. I looked at the map. Wait, what the So we're on this small one that's like next to the big one. And our hotel is on the other side.
So we have to take like a ferry maybe?
But how do we get to the ferry?
You know when you enter a place and everyone knows you're a tourist.
this is the first mini problem, I would say, and the big problem. The big problem being this is a dangerous place and we're going to find out more about it. The first little problem and all of the little problems kind of build to that big problem. The big problem is like the mountain. The little problems are kind of like the stones that make up the mountain. So first little problem we have is we landed on the wrong island. We need to get to the right island. How are we going to do that? We're wondering. It keeps us engaged. It works. It's great storytelling.
This is us right now.
Apparently the boat to the other island, the ferry, costs €1.
Merci.
Hello! Unlocked a new corner of the map though. I've never been in this general area at all. It's wild to be this far, but still not be in a new country, where you can go this far away from the mainland of the country and still be in that country.
And why is it like that?
There must not be a really dark history related to that, right?
Yeah. Cut to voiceover explaining more.
Mayotte is an island between Madagascar and the coast of East Africa and sits around 8,000 kilometers away from mainland France, and somehow they are the same country.
So they're about to give us a lot of context here about geopolitics. Imagine if they put that at the very beginning of the video to set things up. It would have lost our attention immediately, but all they did was they mentioned the difference between France and Mayotte, I think, and they gave us that. Then they moved on and talked more about the danger. Now they're returning to that. Now that they really have more of our attention, now that we're more invested, they're able to come back, remind us about this distance difference, and give us some more context about what's going on here. Because, like I said, if they gave this to us before, we would have got bored. But they've owned the right to give us some more boring background details.
For centuries, Mayotte was a part of a network of trade routes, influenced by African, Arab, and Malagasy cultures. The island was governed by Muslim leaders, and the people lived freely, moving to the rhythm of the Indian Ocean. But everything changed in the 1800s. At the time, European powers were racing to expand their influence across the globe. And in 1841, a local ruler made a decision that could reshape Mayotte forever. Facing internal conflict and outside pressure, the Sultan of Mayotte sold the island to France. And just like that, Mayotte became French. Over the following decades, France tightened its grip, eventually taking control of the entire Comoros archipelago, grouping Mayotte with its neighboring islands under colonial rule. Fast forward to the 1970s, a wave of independence movements swept across Africa. The Comoros voted for independence from France, but Mayotte did something unexpected. It chose to stay. Not once, but multiple times through referendums, the people of Mayotte voted to remain French, separating their path from the rest of the Comoros, which became an independent nation. And today, Mayotte isn't just connected to France. It is France, an overseas department governed under French law, thousands of kilometers away from mainland Europe.
One of the questions that they leave in, at least in my mind, is why did they choose to stay a part of France? Like, why did they choose not to gain independence? I'm thinking they're gonna answer that later on in the video.
We continue the trek to our accommodation by following these locals to the ferry.
I literally am just following them. I have no idea where we're going. It truly feels like a little tropical paradise.
And once on the mainland, we continued to search for a rental car, but ran into further difficulties.
Tourism bureau is closed.
We hadn't realized that we had arrived on Mayotte during Ramadan, and it turns out that around 95% of the population on the island were Muslim, meaning that right now at 3:30 p.m., most businesses had closed for the day.
Ah, ça disait jusqu'à 17h.
Non.
Même si on est rapide.
Non, là, non.
She was like, nah man, I'm done. I'm going home.
She's giving you a number to call.
No, I'm calling another rental place.
Okay, trying the next place.
Found a car?
Yay!
Our vehicle.
Whoa!
And now, after struggling to find our way, we were finally ready to see where this unusual adventure would take us.
So two things happened right there. First off, that first mini problem of we gotta get to the right island, that was solved. Immediately after they solved that mini problem, we introduced a new mini problem of we can't get a rental car. And the reason why is because everyone here is celebrating a holiday, a religious holiday, so that they are off work. But they quickly solved that by finding this car that they're riding in right now. So what those mini problems do, or some people call them curiosity loops, is they keep us engaged. It's like one thing after another. And by one thing after another, I don't mean quick. Like the first problem, it was maybe 1.5, 2 minutes long. The second problem was all of 30 seconds. It doesn't really matter what the length is. All that matters is that there is another thing to keep the story moving forward.
We're gonna have like this white paint on their faces.
Go traffic here. Traffic jam.
Who do they belong to?
As we headed to our accommodation for the night, we had no idea how we would immerse ourselves these next few days to understand more about this island's interesting mix of cultures.
We still don't have any plan. The plan is to find a plan, or for the plan to find us. This looks like a nice market, yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's the next mini problem. We don't know what we're gonna do today. Let's figure it out.
It's like they're selling all sorts of stuff. I don't know. People are looking at us like aliens. Like, what the f are these guys doing in here?
Bonjour, bonjour, ça va? Bonjour. Ça va, monsieur?
Ça va très bien.
Ça va. Nice. Police.
C'est notre première journée à Mayotte.
Ah, d'accord.
Où est-ce que vous recommandez qu'on aille aujourd'hui si on a envie de trouver un peu la vraie vie locale?
Là, il faut pas se presser surtout parce que au niveau du point de vue de la situation, il faut avoir des gens qui font déjà le métier.
Il faudrait avoir quelqu'un avec nous.
Oui, voilà, oui.
Ah ouais?
Je connais, mais il ne faut pas se lancer comme ça. Bon.
Faut pas se lancer?
Oui.
Il y a certains risques.
Voilà, ça me prend tout.
C'est quoi les risques principaux?
Le risque là, c'est ils utilisent les armes blanches.
Ok.
Ouais, ça c'est un peu compliqué.
Ok.
Vous voyez là, les gens, j'étais deux au fond de la mer là. J'étais voir.
Ouais. Ah ouais, ok.
Voilà.
Ah ouais.
Ils sont toujours en groupe comme ça.
Okay. He's saying there's like little groups of boys that hang out, scanning and waiting and seeing what they can get up to. Yeah, they might throw rocks, they might have other weapons.
A lot happened right there. That was such a story, from a story perspective. That gentleman, that municipal police officer, did so much. He gave us more conflict and reaffirmed the dangerous island idea. He's warning us about things. He's saying you have to know about like what's going on in the situation. We're wondering what is going on. We're searching for answers. He's giving us questions and now we're wondering what the answers are. And because we're wondering that, we're gonna keep watching how this story unfolds.
She's saying she does not want to be filmed.
This is gonna be difficult, I think. Well,
that little clip where they blurred the people and they said they don't want to be filmed. The reason I think they added that, because it was like a 3-second clip and they said they didn't want to be filmed and so they had to blur them out anyways. Why did they put that clip in the final video? I think in my mind, automatically when I see things blurred out, that creates tension in me. That creates a kind of psychological sense of something isn't right. I think that's what that added to the video. I just wanted to point that out because I found it interesting.
I guess we're gonna have to see what we're gonna do here. I'll admit that this place is a little bit more unpredictable than we originally expected. And one thing that's been a bit out of control and challenging everywhere we travel has been taking out cash in various ATMs and my bank hitting me with outrageous conversion fees. And being out here in Mayotte in the middle of the Indian Ocean has definitely made that very clear. And so many of my friends and actually direct family were telling me to stop complaining about this and to just use Revolut. So I finally downloaded it. Revolut.
That was clever. I didn't realize that was an ad read until like way into that little spiel. That was really, really clever ad read integration. But we're gonna skip it because they're paying them, not me. And we're back.
Yeah, that was harder than we expected.
Yeah, that was very hard. Maybe markets is not the way to do this.
It's hard to, you know, because we have no like roadmap to follow, right? When you go to a country, well, the country is France, but when you go to an island like this that is less traveled, we're like paving the way right now, hopefully to be able to show others, but we don't know how to do this.
The other thing the policeman said is like there's no age limit to crime. He basically said if you see these little groups of boys hanging around, like they're looking for something to do, and he was like they might have knives or machetes or things like that.
Do you think people like the police? Okay, but the mission is maybe then to like, yeah, actually find someone who can be our guardian angel. Of course we don't want to like fear humans and fear strangers. It goes against everything what we believe in, but it's also good to be mindful.
Just building the tension, building the suspense, building the sense that something is off, something is about to happen. What is about to happen? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's something not good. And I want to see what it is and how they deal with it. Despite being like a good portion into the video, I still feel like we're in the first act of the story because nothing has really happened. Like, yes, they made the choice to go to Mayotte. I don't know why I can't say it. Mayotte, but I would say that's not like the decision between Act 1 and Act 2. I would just say that's like the decision that set off the story to begin with. Because with YouTube, you almost need two defining moments. You need one to set off the video, and then you need that one between Act 1 and Act 2, where the main characters decide they're gonna go and do this, solve the problem, go fight the Galactic Empire, do whatever. So I still don't think we're in Act 2 yet.
After driving around and checking out the surrounding towns, we stopped by a small pharmacy to grab some sunscreen, where we were met with someone who would end up changing the course of our trip.
And how long have you been in Mayotte?
7 months.
Okay, so pretty new.
Yeah, pretty new.
Have you seen a little bit of the island yourself?
Yeah, yes.
Wow. So far? Mixed?
Mix, yes, because you have a lot of insecurity, and now it's pretty calm because people are fasting. And sometime during the evening, you can have we call them coupeurs de route. Ils viennent avec des machettes. So this is why it's a little bit complicated to drive during the night. You need to gather information.
Jessie then continued to explain to us how insecure living on Mayotte was, and the complicated reality we had flown ourselves into.
You can have like a 2 months is calm, and then you will have a 1 month where it's a lot of insecurity all over the.
Why does the insecurities go up sometimes? What is the main reason to?
Sometimes politics, other times because you have they call it alliance between villages.
So Jesse, it's like kind of serious with like this
Yeah,
security.
sometimes it's very complicated to understand what's going on.
Despite having the appearance of a beautiful tropical island, Jessie was beginning to shine light on how Mayotte had struggled with its crime rate in recent years. Much of the violence stems from neighborhood and village-based gangs of young boys, some as young as 12.
So this whole time we're kind of wondering, like, what's happening? Why is this dangerous? Well, also, at least I'm wondering, why are they still part of France when they had the choice to get freedom? Maybe they just liked being part of a bigger country, having the privileges that come with being part of a larger union. But we're slowly uncovering the veil on what's going on, why it's going on, and we're beginning to understand more and more.
Carry out territorial attacks on rival areas, with innocent bystanders often getting severely injured or killed in the chaos. However, there are many factors that contribute to the high crime rates that the locals have no control over. Firstly, with an unemployment rate of 30% and 80% of the people living in poverty, Mayotte is by far the poorest department in France, with local politicians campaigning for France to provide more infrastructure to the island. Secondly, Mayotte also has a huge problem with undocumented immigrants, many of whom sail over from neighboring islands in search of a better life. And finally, children born of undocumented immigrant parents land in a legal gray area in terms of their nationality, which can make it harder to attend school, access healthcare, and find legal work. All these factors lead to an increase in people being drawn into crime. According to Jessie, our chances of encountering any trouble are lower right now because of Ramadan, but she warned us that getting attacked while driving on a remote road was still a major risk.
And if you're driving and you see like a group has put obstacle on the road, then you just need to drive very fast. Don't stop. Just go.
Like through the obstacle?
Yes, through the obstacle. How long are you going to stay?
We're staying until Sunday afternoon.
Oh,
So just a few days.
You're free. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay now. So
Yeah, you should come explore with us.
Oh, no worries.
You?
Yeah, sure. Give me your
Yeah.
Instagram. So tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. there is a big market.
Okay.
It's once a month.
Oh.
So you need to go there.
Ah,
Yeah.
Maybe we can go together.
Okay, sure. I'm planning to go there, so I will text you.
okay, amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nice to meet
So-
you. I'm
so nice to
Thomas.
meet you.
This is Staffan.
Stefan.
So nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too, Jesse. Thank you.
I'm not quite sure about Act 1, 2, 3 in this narrative, but that was a turning point in the story. And these guys, Yes Theory, they are so good at being able to connect with strangers and turn them into such lovable, relatable, incredible characters in the story, and just show what wonderful human beings these random people turn out to be. Ryan Trahan also does a great job of this. So, talking about structure in Act 1, 2, 3, I'm not quite sure how this quite breaks down. What we have to remember is the acts, the 3-act structure, and any other story structure, they're just a structure. They're not like a set of hard rules that anybody has to follow. It doesn't have to follow the rules in order to be a good story. This might be a story that follows the Dan Harmon story circle, which I'm pretty unfamiliar with. I know it's similar to Save the Cat speech sheet, and it has like the 3 acts and a lot of similar elements. I'm just not familiar with that structure as much. So it could be that this fits into that structure a bit more than it fits into something that I might be used to. But Jesse saying yes to going exploring with them, that's definitely a really major turning point in the story. It adds a new level, it adds something new for us to think about and digest.
Pharmacy.
Yeah, I think we met our guardian angel in a pharmacy.
Okay, so
Honestly.
this is a good time to tell people, don't do what we do.
I was just gonna say that actually, like, you need to
look into this
read
stuff.
more, honestly, like.
She's going to a market tomorrow morning
At 8 a.m.
once a month.
Yeah.
So maybe we bring our small cameras and go join her.
Yeah, I often have words to say, but right now I'm a bit, and obviously 99% of people all around the world are always kind and loving, but it's just, if you're in a little specific corner at the wrong place and time.
Yeah, she did say that, yeah, specifically, there's 3 people that have told me, we're lucky we're here during Ramadan, because people are fasting.
Yeah.
They're like a bit, they're in the shade, they're at home, like they don't have as much energy. But she said after school, during the school periods, kids are waiting on the side of the road and just throwing rocks at cars.
Contrasting moments.
Yeah.
A little bit of tension there. They're like, yeah, Jessie seems like a really sweet, beautiful, wonderful human being, but we're not entirely sure. Like, we don't think she's gonna do anything to us, but you never know. We're in a new place. We don't know what we're doing. Anyone could be bad people. We just don't know. So we just don't know. And she's gonna turn out to be a great person. I just know that, but we'll see what happens. They're just building a little bit of suspense, adding a little bit of dramatic flair to the story.
We have a lot of updates. Yeah.
Her bio on Instagram is, I'm a dreamer, a world citizen.
She's a dreamer, she's not the only one. You, me and her, we are like dreamers, you know what I mean? You, me and her, we are like dreamers, like we dream and...
Oh, Corey! Oh! Did you forget that I was here?
That's so funny.
As we ended our day with a swim in this tropical, rainy paradise, we couldn't help but reflect on a day that hadn't quite gone to plan. In our search to meet locals, we'd mainly encountered more concerns about the dangers of exploring this island unaccompanied. So we were eager to meet up with Jesse in the next morning to explore the island's famous market.
So remember that issue we brought up before about we don't know what we're going to do today, we're going to figure it out? Well, that problem wasn't solved, but it was resolved. It wasn't solved in that they figured out what to do that day, but it was resolved in that voiceover and them saying, yeah, today didn't really go, like, we didn't have a plan, we didn't really do anything, we didn't really figure out what to do, but we did learn more, we did figure out more about this place, which is what we're here to do, and we did meet a potential new friend. So, not solved, but resolved. Sometimes problems are better left like that.
Ah! Hi! Ça va et toi?
The French greeting, it always gets to me.
What is this market?
So this one is like a famous market you will have once a month.
Okay.
So it will gather all the people from Mayotte. They will come from all over the place.
Thanks for taking us. We've been a little bit lost in Mayotte.
Yeah, you've been our savior so far.
This is nice. The energy here is very chill. Feels like people are just selling their local crafts and food.
Okay, after 7 months, like what's the essence of Mayotte, would you say, like after being here?
The people. You need a little bit time because they will not open at the first month, 2 months. Maybe you can take 4 months before they open to you.
Yeah.
But after that, you are like a family to them. So that's great.
Wow. So we have to be here for 4 months.
Yeah, at least.
Okay, at least 4 months.
Just as a side note, I feel like it would be so dangerous to have an open farmers market like this in a country this dangerous. Personally, I would be terrified to have an open stand selling food or trinkets or whatever. I would be afraid of someone robbing me. That's just me. That has nothing to do about breaking down this story.
One of the main obstacles in Mayotte is that it's a French territory, but they have another language. So most of the people, they don't speak French.
Most people don't speak French.
Yeah.
Huh. What language do they speak?
Shimaore is the local language.
Local language,
Yeah,
Shimaore.
Shimaore.
Yeah, and I read that in 1974, the rest of Comoros voted to be independent.
Yes, but not here.
But not here.
Yeah.
Do you know if people
That question I had, and that I think you probably also had, it's finally being answered. So this is another thing we can point out is the mini problems within that big. So the big problem, this is a dangerous country, we're gonna go there. The mini problems, sometimes they look like back to back. Others, they overarch like a bit of a span. They go like, this is one, this is another. I'm not sure if you can really tell what I'm doing, but like they interlace, they interact, they don't necessarily go one after another, they kind of intertwine within each other. This question of why did Mayotte, I don't know why I can't say it. Why did this island not choose independence? Why did it choose to stay within France? That's a bigger question that we've had over a span of time. Now we're finally going to get it answered. So what storytelling, a big part of it is asking questions and slowly giving the answers at varying points, at varying degrees of time. Just gatekeeping information is basically what it is. But now we're gonna learn the answer to a question we had from the very beginning of the video.
people are happy with that decision? Yeah, and I read that in 1974, the rest of Comoros voted to be independent.
Yes, but not here.
But not here.
Yeah.
Do you know if people are happy with that decision, or are they like wishing they were independent?
No, people from Maya, they are very happy, but you will have a lot of migration. People from Comoros will come here to seek nationality. They want to be French again. Locals are not happy with that. When you arrive there, they will say most of the time that people from Mayotte are very racist against people from Comoros because sometimes they can use harsh words. And it's not because they're like cousins. It's the same family.
Yeah.
And now they are treating each other like strangers.
Yeah.
I don't get that. So it's painful to watch.
So they don't really answer that question. I thought they would, but we can assume for political reasons of having a military, having the currency, having the economical privileges, all the different things that come with being part of a larger country, we can assume that that's why they stayed with France, and that's why they like being part of France, and that's also why they have this migration issue, which is part of the crime issue, which is part of the bigger story of this being a dangerous place. Like I said before, everything is just pointing towards the story, the big overarching narrative.
Jesse, can you explain to us what a futari is?
The futari is meals that you will share with people after fasting during the Ramadan period.
So you told us about one.
Yeah, it's the colleagues of my friends.
Okay.
So they are going to organize it tonight. Yes, you need to go there.
I'm getting photos
Yeah.
from your friend here. We have been invited to the thing we've been looking for. They cook food for the breaking of the fast, which happens tonight. So we're gonna go check it out.
Somehow,
New mission, new problem, and by problem I really mean just like an event. This meal, this like breaking the fast meal that they're gonna go to, that's like the new mini problem that we're gonna have.
As we strolled around this market, Jesse had contacted a distant connection who was hosting one of the most local experiences we could ask for. A futari, where a village will prepare for days, sometimes for their whole neighborhood, to break their fast together. Jessie couldn't join us herself, but sent us an address and a contact, and off we went.
We are approaching where the preparations are happening.
Another random thought. Imagine how much self-control it takes. Like, he just said that they prepare for days, sometimes weeks, for this meal to break the fast. They're probably fasting while they're preparing this meal. Imagine how much self-control it takes not to just a bit of a lick. I don't know if I could do it.
Bonjour.
Oui, enchantée. Le Kultum, elle vous a expliqué qu'on faisait le futari.
Is it your family here?
Yeah. Ma tante, maman, grande tante,
Oh, wow.
chez moi, chez ma sœur, and Netboo.
Wow.
Something we hadn't expected to discover on this trip was that Mayotte culture was actually heavily matriarchal. Property and homes are often passed down through women, and it's common for men to move into the household of their wife's family after marriage. This tradition has roots in Comorian culture, where lineage inheritance and social stability are closely tied to women. Mothers and grandmothers often act as the anchors of the household, making key decisions and maintaining the structure of daily life. The social fabric here gives women a unique form of influence and security, something rarely seen in many parts of the world.
C'est une tradition à Mayotte d'habiter dans des cours et d'avoir les maisons de chaque femme à côté. Si on se transmet entre femmes les maisons. C'est pour ça qu'on est toutes réunies là. Et les messieurs, les hommes maorais, eux, ont pour tendance, quand ils se marient avec une femme, de venir habiter chez la femme.
Ah oui.
Oui, il n'a pas de maison. C'est toujours Ahmed, c'est la femme qui a une maison et qui peut accueillir son mari une fois qu'elle se marie.
Feels like we've been struggling finding our way in, and they've totally invited us here.
C'est ici qu'habitait ma grand-mère avant, et donc on avait toujours l'habitude, quand on faisait des réunions familiales, hommes, femmes, de venir ici, et on a gardé quand même, aujourd'hui elle a disparu, mais on a gardé la tradition.
I don't know what language she's speaking. It's a beautiful language. I just don't know what it is. It didn't seem like they had a translator with them, so I wonder if they just know this language or if they figured it out in editing what she was saying. I don't know. Just a curious thought. That looks so
Combien de
yummy.
personnes vont être nourries du coup ce soir?
À peu près 50 et 60 personnes.
Ah oui.
Oui.
I don't know why I got touched now, but like it's their preparation for Christmas, right? Like it's John,
Yeah.
how can we help out?
14h, 15h, on va commencer les grillades. Peut-être qu'à ce moment-là, ce sera plus marrant de...
She said it'd be funny to watch you grill.
I don't know how to grill.
I know you don't. Why are you offering to do things you don't know how to do?
So within that problem of this breaking the fast meal, now we have this mini problem within the mini problem of he doesn't know how to grill, but he offered to help grill. Let's see how this goes. Ooh, that's a nice shot. I like that shot. That looks so delicious.
Hello. Hello. Gosh, wholesome vibe here. Junior. Oh. Nice to meet you.
Ouais,
Ça va? Ça va? Ça va?
And by some miracle, we found ourselves in the very heart of a local community.
Right, it's a vibe here.
He was like, "Are you doing Ramadan?" I was like, "No." He was like, "Then you can eat. Have some."
Nous, on n'a jamais touché un Américain, il est content de...
Autre tradition qui est intéressante, il faut venir voir les préparatifs de cuisson à l'intérieur, en particulier et unique à Mayotte aussi.
Okay.
Donc c'est ce qu'on appelle un masque de beauté fait avec du bois, un arbre spécial que l'on retrouve dans les près des plages.
Ah, c'est une protection solaire.
Ouais, oui.
Ah.
On en mettra tout à l'heure si vous voulez.
Ok,
On en
ça
a
marche.
déjà de près et vous pouvez en mettre pour vous protéger. Mais oui, oui, à l'air.
Perfect. Protect this little Rudolph nose.
Here we go.
Feeling like a local. Yeah, I can't see any other men. They said men have it as well. But
I don't really know when Act 1 ended and Act 2 started, but I definitely feel like this, when they accepted the invitation to come to this meal, that definitely felt like Act 3, or something close to what Act 3 would do. And I love how we are experiencing this culture, this family, this unit of society. We feel like we're there, that we're a part of it, we're learning more about it. We see how beautiful these people are and how special these traditions and practices are. It on a macro scale, it makes me feel more love towards my fellow human beings. But on a story perspective, it's very emotionally compelling and very emotionally satisfying. If I was making this video, what I would do is, towards the end of the video, I would do something to disrupt that feeling of peace and fulfillment that they've been giving us by showing us this meal. And then at the end of the video, give us an even increased sense of hope and joy and humanity.
I think they maybe tricked me.
Time of breaking fast is approaching. They have all of these different meals that have been prepared in different homes, and everyone is now coming together.
I am the best. Yes.
See, we see these people, they make them so human. It's so easy to think about other people in other parts of the world and not really think of them as human beings, but what this video, what this story is doing so effectively, and what Yes Theory in general does so effectively, is they make them human to us. They put faces to these cultures and groups and countries and nations, like that little bit of "I am the best cook." They included that in this video for a purpose, and I think part of the purpose was to really show us tangibly, these are human beings just like you and me. They have these fun little arguments about who's the best cook and silly stuff like that, just like you and me. Very effective.
It is pretty incredible. They've been telling me that back in the day they used to do this a lot more without any particular occasion, just sharing meals together. But it's becoming less and less common, just as society is sort of modernizing and individualistic ways of life is becoming more and more the norm. So it's quite beautiful to see them doing it here now. And for a lot of the elders, this is very meaningful because this is how they remember growing up. A lot of people come up and ask us what we're filming for. They think we're journalists, and typically journalists have come here and not necessarily represented people in the kindest of light. When they found out that we're here genuinely just to learn about their culture, and everyone's super excited that we're here, and we feel very welcomed by everyone. So this is always the scary part whenever we begin a Yes Theory trip. We have no idea what's going to happen, where we're going to end up, or who we might meet. And so at some point during the trip, we usually know we found the magic. And being here right now, I think it's quite clear that we did. Ça va?
A couple of notes. First off, that took me a bit off guard because the shots before that were very blue hour-ish and like the sun was setting, and then all of a sudden we have this clip. I'm not sure if this clip, it looks like they have tarps out and stuff, so I'm not sure chronologically when this clip was filmed, but that lighting difference did throw me off a bit. Second thing is, you know how I was saying my recommendation was they disrupt the sense of peace and then kind of bring it back together in an increased manner. I think that's what they were trying to do here, possibly. I don't know if with those, like, let's see, there's 7 minutes left in the video, so I don't know what's coming next, but I think possibly that vlog style filming clip, he was talking, there was some conflict in that clip, right? He was explaining how the native people there were asking why are they filming, and he was saying that they haven't always been represented well. That's a conflict. That kind of breaks, or at least creates some unsettling feelings within us compared to the kind of lovely, fuzzy, warm feelings that we've been having for the third act. So that kind of disrupts that, and then he what's the word? He revives it. He revives that feeling of goodness by saying that, yeah, they are just here to truly learn more and capture it in a accurate manner. So that's maybe what that clip was doing. Third thing I want to say is that was not polished. That was not very retentious, or like, it wasn't the best editing choice for retention. It was solely for the story, because from like a numbers analytical perspective, he was just filming out vlogging, probably like on an iPhone or like on a little point and shoot. And it had some jarring cuts. He was kind of ranting like I'm doing now. That isn't gonna be what keeps their audience watching. So why did they include that in the video? Because they know that isn't gonna keep attention. But they kept it in the video because they've owned it. They've owned the right to share their thought by showing us these things, by having good structure throughout the story. They've owned the right to be able to put a more vlog style clip in the video. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but yeah, I don't really know how to say it. Hopefully that makes sense.
Where we're gonna end up or who we might meet. And so at some point during the trip we usually know we found the magic. And being here right now, I think it's quite clear that we did. Ça va? Vous allez bien, monsieur? C'est quoi votre nom?
Bébé Simon.
Bébé Simon, enchanté. Moi c'est Thomas.
Alors, Thomas.
Thomas.
Et maintenant les gamins me connaissent au nom de dinosaure. Je suis leur papy.
Ah, ok.
C'est moi qui construis tout ça ici.
Ah, ok, super. Ah, c'était...
My father.
Ah, that's her father. Ah, yeah.
Really?
Sans toi, c'est ma...
Slan comorien.
Voilà.
This is Jean's dad, and he has like a famous old school band here on the island.
Nice.
He was part of the first band that was playing electric guitar in Mayotte, and he has music here on YouTube. C'est vous qui chante ou c'est vous qui jouez à la guitare?
Ouais.
And he said he wants our help because he wants the young generation to remember this music, because now they don't play music like this here anymore.
Pour le mal que tu m'as fait, près de moi je t'en supplie. Merci, merci.
Oh yeah.
This is just crescendoing to like an emotional climax.
Ça, c'est chasser les soucis.
Chasser les soucis.
La seule. Même Dieu, après la création du monde, il a pris un accordéon.
Super, merci beaucoup, enchanté. Yeah, this young kid here, he's been watching us shoot all day, film all day.
The protege that I haven't taught anything. He just learned from watching, but he learned how to focus, he learned how to hit record. He even said, let's shoot it on the red.
Bienvenue pour venir ici pour manger, c'est bien.
Another thing to note, at the beginning of a story, everything is kind of one way, it's like this. At the very end of the story, it's kind of like completely flipped. It's completely opposite. And in the middle of the story, you have that kind of awkward, ugly, conflictious turning of the tables, right? At the beginning of the video, where were we? What were we thinking? We were thinking, this is a very dangerous island. We don't know what we're getting ourselves into. We don't know anyone there. We haven't done enough research about this place. We don't know what we're doing. That was the beginning. And throughout the story, we've just flipped it over to this. Now, I mean, they're letting these guys holding the natives are letting Yes Theory hold their kids and like play with their kids. Like, that takes so much trust. They are in this culture. They have found, in the words of, I forget his name, but they found like their magic. They found this little community. They're able to be able to, I don't know how to put it into words. It's just so beautiful on a perspective of being human and on a perspective of story. It's really effective. We started like one way, not knowing what dangers lie ahead, and now we're ending on this complete opposite note of family, love, joy, community. Beautiful.
Oh, wow. Now everyone is breaking the fast.
Okay, wow. This is a very intimate moment. It's quite beautiful. Everyone is sort of seated in different corners here. People from the whole neighborhood and family, friends, neighbors are gathered.
The iPhone shot. Okay, so that shot where that just played, where everything looked a bit brighter. I'm thinking that might have been filmed on an iPhone, and the iPhone is obviously not as good in low light, so it tries to like bring everything up and brighten everything up, and that's why it appears to be a lot brighter, and that's why it kind of confuses your brain, or at least it confuses my brain.
This is a very intimate moment. It's quite beautiful. Everyone is sort of seated in different corners here. People from the whole neighborhood and family, friends, neighbors are gathered.
So yummy.
On en parlait avant dans la voiture, Jeanne, t'as un esprit très, très calme.
Ah oui.
On sent qu'il y a un calme chez toi qui est très accueillant et qu'on a beaucoup apprécié en venant ici parce qu'on cherchait vraiment à rencontrer la vraie vie locale, et sans toi, je pense pas qu'on l'aurait fait. Donc,
Our guardian angel.
Notre ange gardien.
Ah, avec grand plaisir.
What do you wish for the future of Mayotte?
1e département de Mayotte, aujourd'hui devenu département région, mais pas avec toutes les conditions, on va dire logistiques et financières qui vont derrière. Donc c'est juste un titre qui est venu, parce qu'il y aura des entreprises, un emploi, une vie meilleure pour tout le monde, qu'on ne sera plus dans des problèmes d'insécurité. Aujourd'hui, vous ne l'avez pas vu, ces problèmes d'insécurité autour de cet événement-là, toute la journée, toute la soirée, c'est parce qu'on essaye de passer outre et qu'on continue à vivre. Mais demain, ça va revenir. Si je parle aujourd'hui d'insécurité, c'est parce que nous, ici, on est en famille, mais il y a beaucoup de jeunes qui sont dans la rue, qui n'ont pas de famille, qui n'ont pas de toit et qui sont livrés à eux-mêmes et qui malheureusement se retournent vers la délinquance parce que c'est que ceux qu'ils connaissent. Ils ne connaissent que ça.
If you could whisper something into everyone's ear in Mayotte, what would you tell everyone on the island?
Restons unis, restons soudés et puis continuons à nous aimer les uns les autres et à rester unis en famille comme c'est plus le cas aujourd'hui et qu'on a eu l'occasion de vous le faire partager. Gardez l'amour et chasser la haine.
Super. Wow. Merci beaucoup.
Ah, et la viande.
She's giving us food to go.
Amazing.
We should go.
Okay, yeah.
Unfortunately, as we were just getting comfortable, we had also forgotten that the sun had now set. Locals from the village came rushing to tell us we needed to move.
And he was like, no, I think you guys need.
Okay, so here's a little bit more of a conflict. Like I was saying earlier, they should kind of upset the peace that they've built within us. This does that. We're like almost to the very end of the video, and now they're saying like, yeah, it's dark out, that means it's becoming more dangerous out, and that comes right after the, I forget, I'm not quite sure how to say her name, but right after she was saying like, we need to love other people and push away hate. So the note about it's getting dark and more dangerous, that has more of an impact because it comes right after her remarks, that it's a contrast, and contrast provides more emphasis on certain notes and beats, and it's a really great way to bring more attention to certain aspects of a story.
Like, hit the road. And then he looked worried, and I was like, oh, I get it.
It's hard to say what our real takeaway from this trip was. The first natural one is that especially in places surrounded by lots of pain and instability, there are also always communities and families like Jeanne's holding each other close. Mayotte felt like an island we could spend weeks exploring and still not fully understand. One can only hope that France will prioritize this island more in the future, and that smart and kind-hearted people like Jeanne will continue being a part of planting positive seeds for a brighter future.
Wow. That was such a beautiful story, such a beautiful narrative. There's one last thing I want to talk about, and that's that this was such a universal concept. Like, on the surface, it looked like it was the story about exploring a dangerous island, but underneath that packaging, that idea-based packaging, was this very deeply human narrative about hope and peace and love. And that's one of the things that is important to keep in mind about telling stories, is it has to be relatable on an instinctual level, right? So for example, the story in Star Wars, like, yes, it's about defeating the Galactic Empire, but on a deeper level, it's about freedom. It's about Luke finding his identity. These very deep human things that we all experience and can relate to. That's what it's truly about. So this story, in the same way, yeah, it's about this dangerous island. It's about the politics that surround it, but on a deeper level, it's about people like, I wish I could say her name, Jean. Like, it's about people like the people that they met in the story, in their adventures. It's about deeply human ideas and concepts that everyone can relate to. Love, security, family, friendship, community. So that's another good thing to keep in mind. Keep your stories very primal. Make it so that a caveman can relate to it. Okay, that was a beautiful story to end off my day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.